extra value to kill his out. I guess scenarios wouldn't be a bad play. Okay, so he draws Innervate, but I guess there's nothing he can do really. If he tries to kill the Druid of the Claw, then his opponent's gonna gain back all the his opponent's gonna gain back his Druid of the Claw, and he's gonna get it back at full health. So this is actually really difficult for Freycook. It looked like for a second that Freycook was gonna turn this around and actually made it despite his opponent having double wild growth, but looks like this game goes back and forth. I have to admit this is a very interesting game at the moment. So Freycook is gonna use Endearing is gonna use Wrath, most likely to cycle. Yeah, he's gonna find the Kyosan Mystic and use a Saboteur, trade his whole board for his opponent's whole board, and Kel'Thuzad is gonna give him back all the advances that he lost. So his Hero Bard is gonna trade for the Slime, Druid of the Claw is gonna trade for Ace on the Floor, and the Slime is gonna trade for the Harrison Jones. Kel'Thuzad is gonna go face for a total of 8 damage this turn, and I do believe that the momentum has totally shifted in Endurance favor, and I'm not really sure that Freycook can come back from this, to be honest. On his turn, Freycook is gonna draw, he's gonna find a Saboteur, and he's gonna be forced to play an Ace on the Floor. But the thing is, every minion with 5 attack is actually not really efficient against the board that has 2 taunts that keep respawning and can actually kill, most of the creatures that Druid can throw out. Let's see, he has the option of either going Wild Growth and searching for something, then maybe playing a Zombie Toe. He has the option of innervating out a possible... no, he cannot really do that. I guess his only play is to use Wild Growth. See what he finds, and use a Zombie Toe. And the only way he can get out of this is by having a swipe, I guess. The second swipe, let's see, okay, and he finds a Keeper of the Groove kind of late, because his health is so low. And I'm really sure Endearing is not gonna play another monster inspecting the Mind Control deck from his opponent, so he's gonna play a Zombie Toe and pass the turn back to Endearing. Let's see if Endearing will play a second master. The thing is, Endearing already has MC deck in his hand, and he's aware that, okay, Druids play this card, my opponent used this card in our previous match against me, so I don't really think he's gonna play into that. However, the thing is, if he doesn't use that Ace of War in his hand, there's the slight problem that he's not doing anything productive with his turn. Let's see how he chooses to play that. He's contemplating his moves and his options right now. Okay, let's see what he will choose to do in the end. Let me remind you that these guys are playing in the top 16 of the Brawlers in Tournament Series. This is the 10th online tournament that we are hosting, and this is the first one to actually award points for the 2015 Hearthstone World Championship qualifier. So if you missed that one, you can actually register for one of our other events by going on our Salon page. We have LAN events for the people living in Greece, in Thessaloniki, and in Athens, and we have many online events for all the players around the world. So if you missed this one, you can actually go to our official page, ragersgaming.gr, and there is a detailed guide about all the tournaments and when the dates, when they are held, what format do they use, what times do they start, and all that stuff that you need to know. In the meantime, Endearing is gonna play all of his hand, and he's gonna basically present Freycook with the problem that even if you have a mind control deck, you need to be able to clear my whole board, or else you are dead on the following turn. Well, let's see if Freycook can do that. And the important thing is that if Freycook cannot kill his opponent's Kel'Thuzad, all of his work would have been for nothing. And he's gonna swipe Druid of the Claw and play Keeper of the Groove to silence the Kel'Thuzad, but that I'm not really sure that put him out of this staff spot. He's gonna actually, you know, shoot the kill shot for 2, yeah, and kill it. But his opponent already has 7 damage on board, plus the ace on the board that he has in his hand, so... Okay. He decided to use a Savage Run instead. Okay, very interesting. Preserving the keeper. Okay, because he can now keep the other guy minions. Okay, and Endearing is gonna top deck Druid of the Claw, which is gonna give him lethal this turn, and he's gonna go ahead and make his lead a 2-0. And let's see if Freycook can use his remaining, and if Endearing can take the 3rd game, or if Freycook can actually reverse the situation he's in and make it a 3-2 match. Okay, so let's head down for the 3rd match of our first feature match for today. We have Druid for Freycook, who is not really gonna show any other deck unless he has to. There's no real reason in the Conquest format, you know, actually play any other class if you lose with your first game. And Endearing has only his Rogue left, and I believe Rogue is, you know, reasonably positioned against, you know, Freycook's, all the decks that Freycook has, actually. So even if Freycook manages to win this one, Endearing has 2 more shots at, you know, winning with his Rogue. So Freycook is gonna tank really hard on this Mulligan. He's considering keeping maybe the Swipe and the Wrath, I'm not really sure. Okay, let's see. There's only 5 seconds remaining, so he has to make a choice. Okay, he's gonna keep the Wrath and the Wild Growth, so he really values, you know, early removal highly. So the game is gonna begin. Freycook is gonna pass the turn, not save on next farmers that would justify coining out Wild Growth. His opponent is gonna use his hero power, and let's see if he wants to attack or no. He doesn't want to attack. And yeah, if Endearing can find preparation, then he can go turn 4 preparation into sprint. That would really put him ahead. Let's see. I'm really sure he won't play anything on his 3rd turn. He's just gonna attack and, you know, use his hero power again, most likely. And let's see right now. I'm really sure. Yeah. He's really contemplating his next turn. Okay, he's gonna. Yeah, he's using. What he's doing is very wise. He's using a turn where his moves are, you know, basically scripted for him. Like, he doesn't have many options, so he used the time that he has available in order to think his next turn through. Really solid as a technique. So okay, he's gonna dagger up, and he's gonna his poisoned weapon is gonna get answered by Harrison Jones, who's gonna draw 3 cards and basically get rid of a weapon and a deadly poison. Really good turn for Freycook. He's gonna pass back to Endearing after, you know, using his Harrison Jones, and Endearing has the option of either playing a Violet Teacher and passing, which I don't believe is in his best interest, or playing a South deckhand and actually eviscerating the Harrison Jones, which is what he's gonna do right now. Okay, so the play is back to Freycook, who has a Palette Shredder for his turn, and he has a Wrath which he can cycle and then innovate out the Pilot Shredder. He can also do the same thing with Hero Power. He can Hero Power trade, he can Hero Power kill the South Sea deckhand and then innovate the Pilot Shredder out. Let's see what he will choose to do. I don't believe he wants to leave Endearing with a body on the board that he can use to, you know, he can use to activate Tinker Oil on a monster. But let's see what he's gonna do. He's thinking really hard on his turn. It's not a really easy turn because you have to think how much you value Wrath in this matchup. Like, yes, of course, it can kill Farseers and Farseer SI agents and maybe and Azure Drakes if you use it in combination with your hero power, but at the same time, you do not want your opponent to have a minion left. So he's gonna use his hero power and play Pilot Shredder, clearing the board and getting ahead. And Freycook on his turn has a Loatheb, firstly drawn Loatheb, that is. And he's gonna play that Loatheb if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Okay. So he's using the Loatheb. It's the most efficient play for this turn. He cannot activate Violet Itcher. Right now, Freycook won't have, I'm not. Let's see. Freycook draws an Azure Drake for his turn, and the problem that he is faced with is if he plays the Azure Drake, then next turn he can Wrath the Loatheb for one. But he can also wait for a turn and then have the Wrath being played alongside the Azure Drake on a new possible target. So let's see. He can also trade the Pilot Shredder and then use a Keeper. I'm not really sure he wants to waste advantage on that, so let's see. It's a turn. I believe the Drake play is justifiable because he gets you an extra card deeper into your deck, and you need to find your combo, you need to find your Ancient of Lords, but you have two Keepers in your hand, and it's not likely that you are gonna need both of them, so... Oh, he gets a Doomsayer. That's really unlucky for him. Okay, so he's gonna trade, basically trade the Loatheb with his hero power and not play anything else. I imagine his plan, since he used his hero power, his plan was to play a Kizan Mystic. Or a Keeper if he doesn't really want to get, damage for 5, so yeah. Indian's gonna use his turn, play a Tinker's Sharps of Oil, and Freycook is gonna pass back Doomsayer, he's gonna trigger and, basically take out himself. And play's gonna go back to Freycook, who has an empty board and not many mana efficient options. Like, the only mana efficient option that he has is playing Kazan Mystic and Satan Axarmas into a possible Blade Flurry, which is not really his, to his best intentions. So he's gonna play Sylvanas, and the problem is that Endearing can actually ignore the Sylvanas for now. He can actually sprint without fear of dying next turn, because he's at a full 30 HP, and maybe find, another Tinker Subsol Oil. Maybe he has a Blade Flare in his hand. He has a Blade Flare in his hand, and okay, yeah. Let us get back to the matchup. Okay, our client timed out, so stay tuned, guys. We are gonna be back in a bit. I don't know. This is not. I thought this was fixed. To be honest, I thought this was a bug and it was fixed. Okay, let's get back into the matchup really quickly. Okay, let's get back into our matchup really quickly. Okay, let's get back into our matchup really quickly. I hope we haven't missed anything. Okay. Okay, so we're back, guys. So Spin has been played. Freycook doesn't look so happy about it. And
pay attention, class.
Endearing is gonna use a Violet Teacher and Blade Flare in order to clear the board, generate a token, and that's actually a really productive turn for him. Okay, so he's gonna pass the turn back to Freycook, who is gonna take a draw, find the Savage Roar. He has the combo in his hand, but his opponent is way out of the, Druid's combo rates. So most likely we're gonna see him use that swipe on the Violet Teacher, but the thing is his opponent has so many cards in hand that it's not actually safe to just waste swipe like that. Another play he can do is use Wrath on the Violet turn and then Keeper of the Groove to finish it off. And then Hero Power take care of the token so that your opponent doesn't have a blade, a Tinker Oil target. Let's see. I think he's contemplating doing that, or maybe cycling the Wrath. Let's see. Okay, he's gonna go with a 3 damage on the Violet turn, play Keeper of the Groove, great. And then Hero Power. So that one. Okay, so he's gonna pass back to his opponent, and let's see what he's going to do. He's gonna take a draw right now. He's gonna take a draw. He's gonna back. He's gonna take a draw. He's gonna play. He's gonna play.
I'm ready to learn.
Violet Teacher eviscerate the Keeper of the Groove, use a Farseer on himself and pass the turn back to Freycook, who now actually has a really nice swipe turn. Looks like our client has back because we have 0 mana Warlock swipe apparently. Okay. Let's see if we can fix that actually. Let's see if we can fix that actually. I'm really sure this problem only happens with scenarios if I'm not mistaken.
Well played.
Okay, well played by Endearin, who gets his whole board cleared by a well-saved swipe from Freycook. And let's see Endearin, who he's gonna take his turn and use Sprint. He hasn't found any of his preparations, and so he cannot really play any chip spells. He's gonna use an SI engine, most likely going face, because he eventually needs to kill his opponent off. Okay, let's see, he's contemplating about doing that. I don't think our client is backed actually. I don't think the game backed on us. Okay, let's see, we're gonna head out of the spectator mode for a while and we're gonna come back right away. Let's fix that swipe thing, that Warlock swipe thing, and we will be back. Okay, so we are jumping back into the action.
Choose soon.
Okay. And yeah, he plays Endearin played the SI agent on his turn, he targeted his opponent's face and he passed the turn back to Freycook, who now has the option of using the combo, which I'm not really sure is again what he's willing to do. We're actually playing more minions on the board and keeping set board clear. However, he has to be aware that his opponent has used both of his sprints, and that usually means that your opponent has enough, has drawn enough cards so that he has found his combo pieces, which can actually consist of anything that buffs a weapon plus a Blade Flare, and even if your opponent has used his first one, it's quite likely that he's gonna have his second one drawn by the time he's used his second sprint. And yeah, Freycook is gonna use his Druid of the Claw in charge mode, and he's contemplating whether to trade or not. I do believe that if he doesn't trade, swiping his opponent's face is to his best interest, of course. The harm in that is that you give your opponent a way to combo, a way to place the Tinker Oil on a monster, and sees his opponent doesn't no longer has such a deckhand. Freycook is gonna try to keep his opponent's board as clear as possible for the remainder of this match, and he does exactly that by using his Druid's Hero Power and the Keeper of the Groove attack to take care of the SI agent. So let's see Endearin, who still hasn't found any of his swipes. He's thinking about playing his Azure Drake. If he manages to find the preparation, he can actually clear his opponent's board and maybe go for the win, because it would be it would be like 9 damage this turn, and then he can finish it off with an SI agent or maybe another Eviscerate if he finds one. Okay. Let's see what Endearin chooses to do. I can't imagine him leading off with Fan of Knives. Okay. Okay, looks like okay, looks like our client is back again. I don't know why. Uh, Guys, we're really sorry about that. I'm gonna get back into the game immediately because I think I don't know. I'm not really sure why this problem, you know, keeps popping up with Battle.net client. We can't really do anything about it, so please bear with us as we get back into the match. I'm not really sure if this is an internet connection problem or not. Let's see. Apparently, judging from Indiran's hand, he did find a fan of, preparation with his Azure Drake, and actually cleared his opponent's board. And he's just gonna push for the final damage, and maybe he will try to make that a 3-0 sweep apparently, and he has set his chances for he has really high chances of doing that. So let's see if Ray Cook, who's gonna use a Wrath to take care of the SI agent. He doesn't really want to use his combo because, oh no, he's gonna use his Force of Nature again. He's gonna use his Force of Nature, he's gonna use Wrath to cycle and actually clear his opponent's board with Force of Nature. And he uses his hero power, he finds a Doctor Boom, but his life is really low at this point, and his opponent is of course out of combo range. And judging by Endurance hand, he's gonna remain out of combo range for the remainder of this match. So let's see how Endurance wishes to play this match. I'm not really sure if he wants to lead off with Fan of Knives. No, don't think he does. I'm pretty sure it's to his best interest to just develop a huge weapon and go face. At this point in the game, since he has a second sap and so many heal effects. So let's see, he's gonna play, oh no, he's gonna play Healbot. Healbot will put him out of, you know, double combo range. He's gonna play both of his heal cards, so he's not gonna get maximum value of this, but he's setting up for an extra lethal attack by comboing out Sharp Sword Oil with the deadly poison. And let's see if Fey Cook can find anything that can get him out of the situation. He finds a big game hunter that's not gonna be useful, and Fey Cook sees the writing of the wall. He well plays his opponent, well played by both players, and I think that Indiran has a lethal attack, and Indiran's gonna actually take this match 3-0 against Frey Cook. And we're just going through the motions basically at this point. Indiran's gonna use poison, he's gonna use Tinker Sharp Sword Oil, and this is a lethal attack by Indiran, who is gonna actually win this top 16 matchup 3-0. Very interesting match. Okay, welcome back guys, I'm Nick Bulbasakos of Razor Sets Gaming, and we just witnessed an amazing 3-0 sweep by Indiran against Frey Cook. Indiran from H2K Gaming. Really amazing game. All the games were actually intense. Indiran had, I believe, a little bit of a gut draw sometimes, like the double wild growth turns were actually really insane. Of course, well played to both players for reaching the top 16 phase of this tournament. But Indiran is gonna move on. He's gonna be in the top 8. And if you actually want to find, okay, since we have some time before our next feature match begins, let me tell you a few things about the Brawlers in Tournament series. As you can see below on our page, we are Razor Sets Gaming. We are a Greek-based gaming hub, and we're currently sponsoring teams in Hearthstone and in Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Now, of course, most of you are here for the Hearthstone part, so let's focus on that. Our tournaments, we're running a tournament series that's been going on for over a year. The tournament series that I'm talking about is called the Brawlers in Tournament series, and we have both LAN and online events that you can participate. You can find all of our events by going to our Salon page and signing up for them. Please mind that if an event actually has LAN in his title, you need to be able to get there in person in order to participate. However, if you cannot, if you cannot make it there, you can tune in for our official coverage, or you can actually play in one of our online events. So, yeah, be sure to check that out. Also, a big thank you to all of our sponsors: eFantasy.gr, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Market, .eu, and Wisdom Station. Also, Battle.net, Pevkatia, the place where we are, where we are live streaming right now. So, if anybody wants access to the brackets, he can do so by typing !brackets. All the players for the tournament are now playing their matches, and admin is spectating the matches. If you need an admin, don't hesitate to ask in the chat, and admin is gonna, examine your case. So, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take a small break and set up the next feature match. For the top 8, we're gonna find, a nice little nifty matchup. We have lots of big names in the top 16, and we are really overwhelmed that our tournament was met with, such a huge success. If I'm not mistaken, 230 people signed up for this, which is really huge. It's our biggest tournament today. I think the previous one had like 120 players, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we're overwhelmed, and we're trying our best to bring you, up-to-date coverage. We had some technical issues at the beginning, but I believe everything is sorted out. Also, if you want to check out our, what else we're doing in Hearthstone, you can do so by, visiting our official website, razorsetgaming.gr, or liking us on Facebook, or following us on Twitter. Okay, so we're going to be going away for a few minutes, and we're going to come back for the feature match of the top 8. Stay tuned for more. We're going to be back with more Hearthstone in a while. Hello, the Welcome back, guys. Nick Bulbasakos from Registered Gaming, and we are back with the top 8 of the 10th Brawlers in Tournament Series, live from Battle.net Pevkaya here in Athens, Greece. This is considered a Hearthstone Cup for all those, for all you guys joining us now. Welcome. This is the top 8, and we are actually having some really nice matchups right now. So we have, from, if I'm not mistaken, Team No Mercy. Let me see if I'm not mistaken. I don't think. Yeah, Team No. We have from Team No Mercy, 83650, who is actually one of the most known players in this top 16, and he has advanced to the top 8, and he's gonna face off. Greece's very own, from Order of Gul'dan, Lasurela. Lasurela is a player. Um, Lasurela is a player who has actually participated, has been around a long time. He's more of a casual player, if I'm not mistaken. And we're gonna check both of these guys as they are gonna be battling for the top 4. Let me remind you guys how the point distribution goes. Basically, we're gonna award 10 points to the winner, 2015 Hearthstone World Championship qualifier points to the winner, 5 to the runner-up, and 3rd and 4th place get 1 point each. So both players are ready, and we're gonna jump straight into the match. So we're gonna jump straight into the match, and let's see. Okay, so we have both players ready to go. Unfortunately, none of them could find access to a webcam, so we're gonna have to make do with the really nice photos that we have of them. So it's gonna be Hunter versus Mechmates. A83670. I'm gonna call him A8 from this point on. Is gonna go first. He's gonna play Cogmaster, and Lasurela is most likely gonna answer with a mad scientist of his own. He doesn't have the luxury of actually playing Knife Juggler or Web Spinner, since that means that his opponent will be getting, the better trades. Now, Mechmates versus Hunter is a matchup. It's actually a mid-range matchup, and we can see that because Lasurela is using Dr. Boom actually, so that means that the version of the Hunter that he's using has more late game. It's a more mid-range matchup, so it's gonna be who gets the board control first, who gets to clear his opponent's board first, and then push for the final points of damage. Of course, Mates a really good deck at establishing the board, thanks to the new addition from Goblins vs Gnomes. Well, not new right now, but new in the Mate starters in general, which is Goblin Blast Mates. So Lasurela wants to prevent his opponent from getting that perfect turn 4 Blast Mates drop, and let's see, he doesn't trade, he goes face, and of course A3 is gonna start his turn by playing a Goblin Blast Mage. I don't think he goes to play Pilot Shredder into a trap, so he's gonna play Goblin Blast Mage and most likely finish off what's left. What he's contemplating about is actually not playing the Blast Mage because of a possible Snake Trap, and there's gonna be no clear, and actually Lasurela is gonna get a very nice beast in the form of Stampede Kodo. Let's see, so Snow Tiger will attempt to finish off Knife Juggler, and of course Freezing Trap is gonna proc and send the Snow Tiger back to A8's hand, and the play is gonna go back to Lasurela, who doesn't have a crucial 4-turn drop. He doesn't have a Pilot Shredder of his own, or even not really any. He doesn't really have anything in order to deal with that Blast Mage. So what he can do, and I believe what's in his best interest to do, is actually play Hand Smack on his opponent's Blast Mage and then trade it with his own Knife Juggler. He can actually use the Unleash the Hounds in his hand, but that's not going to be of significant value, and maybe save the Hunter's Mark. But the thing is, he's going to have plays for the next turn in the form of either Sludge Belcher or Stampede Kodo. His Sludge Belcher, deals really nicely with his opponent's Pilot Shredders, and the Stampede Kodo deals really nicely with the 2 Snow Tigers that he knows A8 to have in his hand. So he's gonna go ahead and use both the Hunter's Mark and the Unleash the Hounds. He's gonna establish the board and actually force A3 to choose whether he wants to play a 4-drop or actually use his 0 power plus play something else. And he's gonna choose to do the later by pinging the Knife Juggler and playing a Mad Scientist. So let's see right now what he will use. If he's gonna go with a Slot Belcher on the Stampede on the turn, I do believe that he's gonna once again try to use the Stampede Condo to take care of his opponent's board. I do believe he's gonna use his Stampede Condo. Let's see. Right now. So let's see what Lazurla is gonna do on his turn. He has many options, and whether he wants to give his opponent a Mirror Entity or whether he wants to play a Sludge Belcher. Of course, the problem with playing the Sludge Belcher is that he leaves the Sludge Belcher vulnerable to a potential Firebolt, Frostbolt plus trade with the Mad Scientist. So let's see, he's gonna opt for the Stampede Codo play, and that means that the secret, while very peculiar, is gonna work and spawn a Stampede Codo for his opponent. And A3, I believe, is gonna have a really nice turn. He does a Spider Tank, and he can actually follow his curve quite nicely. He can choose to play a Pilot Shredder and maybe pink the Hound, or actually playing Spider Tank and the Ticking Town Ecclesia. He's gonna go with the first play that we mentioned. He's gonna ping the remaining dog, and he's gonna go face. He's gonna play a Shredder and go face with a Stampeding Codon, passing the turn back to his opponent, who draws Haunted Quipper, and he again has a really difficult choice of whether to play the Slot Belcher and then next turn follow it up with a Doctor Boom, or actually go with a Knife Juggler play. And I believe that the Slot Belcher play is the best. Okay, he goes for the Slot Belcher play, and it's A8's turn to find something in order to contest said Slot Belcher. Even if he found the Doctor Boom, I don't believe he would have played it, because trading your hero power for the Kodo is actually really valuable in this matchup. Gaining the board in any way is really valuable in this matchup. So he's contemplating whether he wants to use that Spider Tank or whether he wants to play something like the Snow Chargers he's holding in his hand. I imagine he's gonna have to keep those Snow Chargers in his hand for quite a while, actually. You can play the Spider Tank and the Goblin Blast Mage to help to hit the Kodo with one of the 4 shots that the Blast Mage is gonna provide him. Let's see which of the options available to him he's gonna choose. And I do believe that the Spider Tank and Blast Mage play, while your opponent has already used his first Unleash the Hounds, is actually really fine. So yeah, he's gonna use the Spider Tank plus the Blast Mage play, and he's gonna miss. So that's one of the worst possible outcomes he could have. So he's gonna trade both the Splinter Trog and Stampede Condo into the Slot Belcher, and that was actually the turn that Lazurla needed. So I do believe that it would be in his best. Yeah, let's see. He's gonna play the Juggler, then play the Haunted Creeper. Okay. He's gonna play the Bow, and then trade with the Kodo. He wants the Juggler shot to hit the Blast Mage apparently, which is really nice actually, because that would mean that he, by trading the Kodo first, you take the least possible amount of damage. Okay, so the Juggler is gonna hit face, so not really lucky turn. Let's see if he wants to trade both the Kodo and the Sludge into the Blast Mage. Or just trade it. No, I think it's his best interest to trade into the Blast Mage. It's his opponent's last Blast Mage, if I'm not mistaken. So he trades both the Kodo, the damaged Kodo and the Sludge into the Blast Mage. He's gonna pass the turn back to A8, who is gonna draw his own Doctor Boom, and this is a potentially the best Doctor Boom turn he's gonna have in this game. He gets to play his own Doctor Boom before his opponent does so, with his opponent big at 16 health, and him holding a fireball. So let's see. What he's gonna do. Lassurela is in a really tough spot at the moment. He's gonna crush his spider into the spider tank, play his own Doctor Boom, and possibly go face with the bow. Well, it doesn't really matter at this point because his opponent has 15 damage, 18. Sorry, his opponent has lethal on the board actually. If one of the bombs are not killed by whatever. I mean, yeah. So he has 9 damage from the Doctor Boom and the bombs plus. Yeah, he has lethal. If his opponent. Okay, so the first game is gonna go to A8, who's gonna have lethal with his fireball and his hero power in combination with the attacks that he already has on board. So A3 is gonna take this first game, and he will no longer be able to use his mate's deck for the remainder of this best out of 5 match. And let's see what will Lassurela do right now while waiting for the players to get started. Let's see if I can find their decks. Okay. Let's see if I can find their deck somewhere. I'm not really sure. Okay. So both players are choosing their next class. Let's see what they will pick. And it's gonna be a Hunter mirror match. It's gonna be a Hunter mirror match, and it's gonna be a mid-range Hunter mirror match, and we see a very interesting choice in Cultmaster in A8. And Cultmaster not really that peculiar nowadays, but certainly an interesting choice in the mid-range Hunter mirror. And the principle is the same as with the Bazaar Unleash Hunter of days gone by, but in order to get to that turn, you need to get to 7 mana and actually play Cultist plus whatever other minion you want to die, most likely unleash the Hounds, and yeah. So let's see, as No Mercy has Defender of Archons in his deck, I wonder if he plays Snake Trap and Giants actually. Sea Giants actually. Let's see, so Lassurela is gonna start his turn by playing a web spinner, and he's gonna pass the turn to 8, who is gonna play Mad Scientist. And the problem is that Lassurela doesn't really have a lot going on in his third turn. So he's gonna play a bow, trade the Scientist, and actually use the web spinner in order to proc the trap. I do really believe that. Okay, it's a freezing trap. I'm really sure that if A3 plays Defender of Argus in his list, then he's most likely going to have a snake trap in there. So let's see if I'm right. The first trap that Mad Scientist pulled out was a freezing trap, so of course he is most likely running more freezing traps than snake traps, but let's see. Lassurela is gonna find on his fourth turn the pilot strategy. He's gonna deploy it onto the field and pass the turn back to A3, who doesn't have a strong turn for play. So he's gonna use his hero power and then play a Nairobi Cole, silencing the pilot shredder. And it's important to note that on his following turn he can coin out Savannah High Main, but let's see if Lassurela will actually use that, quote-unquote dead turn from his opponent in order to gain the advantage. He certainly has the tempo. He now has 3 minions on the board compared to his opponent's none, but he's gonna coin out Savannah Highmane, if I'm not mistaken, and Lassurela is gonna on board with Savannah Highmane of his own, I guess. Oh no, he finds a freezing trap. That's really interesting. Let's see if he wants to place Sludge Belcher on the freezing trap plus Haunted Quipper. Let's see right now. He chooses to press his advantage and actually go face with all of his guys. I think a very solid option at this point, because that means that if A3 doesn't find an answer to Lassurela's board, then he's basically dead. So yeah. Let's see A3 as he finds a web spinner. It's kind of late for that, and I think his best play is to actually double unleash the Hounds. to actually double enlist the hounds. Let's see if he opts for that. Maybe he can enlist the hounds and use kill command on the high main. But I imagine if that was his plan, he would have unleashed used kill command first in order to get more dogs out of the hounds. So he's gonna trade. He trades both the lions. Okay. So I do really believe that. Okay, he's gonna use the second hounds now, most likely. But that's not gonna be a profitable trade at all. He's gonna use his next hounds, get 4 more hounds. Okay, so that's the maximum damage allowed, and his opponent's gonna be left with just the hyena token, and he himself is gonna have 2. But the initiative goes back to Lashola, who has a King of Beasts in his hand due to the Web Spinner's effect. And let's see if that actually changes the outcome of the game. His opponent is at 14 health. Next turn he can use Doctor Boom or opt for a Defender of Argus play. Let's see if Lashola wants to press his advantage even more and equip the bow and maybe go face and use his hero power. Or play a Haunted Creeper. If he does so, that means that his opponent's at 7 health next turn and quite possibly dead if he doesn't have it owned. Lashola is going to do exactly that. He's going to give his opponent 1 turn in order to find an answer. We already know that A8 has an answer in his hand in the form of Defender of Argus, and that's the first card that he's going to play when he starts. He's going to play Defender of Argus and trade his whole board for his opponent's board. I'm not really sure he wants to trade the spider. He has to be afraid of kill command at this point in the game. Let's see if he chooses to ignore the kill command. Okay, chooses to ignore the kill command. Oh, let's see if he uses the bow to trade. No, he goes face. He wants pressure his opponent in order to have a salt at this game. And Lashola is gonna top deck set kill command. But to be fair, A3 couldn't win if his opponent had a kill command either way. If he made that trade and his opponent had at least the hounds, as we saw in Lashola's hand, then he can no longer possibly win the game. So he made that decision to press his opponent in order to bring him into lethal range. Unfortunately, that gamble didn't pay out, but I still believe it to be the correct decision by A8. Sorry, A3. I don't know why I keep calling him A3. It's such a weird name, actually. It's not making it any easier for a caster to pronounce his name, apparently. Okay, so let's see. Lashola can no longer use his hand. A8 can no longer use his mate deck, and A8 has just used his hander deck, which he lost to. So I imagine he's gonna keep his hander deck, and let's see what Lashola is gonna throw at him for the next game of this match. Let me remind you that these guys are playing for a spot in the top 4. The top 4 gets not only Brawlers in points, but actually the top 16 gets Brawlers in points. The top 4 gets the 16 points. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to have a Rogue versus Warrior matchup. And let's see how this is going to go. Okay, let's see how this is going to go.
Okay, so
Players are in the Maligan phase at the moment, and let's see if Lashola wants to keep his opening hand or not. Okay. He's gonna send back 2 cards. He's gonna give the Earthen Ring, Farseer, and the Deadly Poison, and there's gonna be Violet Teacher and an Azure Drake. So that's exactly what is happening right now. Okay, guys, it seems we have some microphone issues, so some sound issues. So what we're gonna do is actually stop the audio for a while and fix that problem. We're gonna come back in a while. Please stay tuned.
I wonder.
Special delivery!
Okay, guys. So we're back. We had uh, a small sound problem that we apparently fixed. So we're back in this game that has already progressed quite a bit. We have Warrior against Rogue, and additionally good matchup for Warrior. And A8 is gonna actually take the lead. He just used the Death Bite trigger in order to not only kill his opponent's minion, but gain the draw from the Acolyte of Fane. So the Acolyte of Fane is gonna provide him with 2 total draws at the moment. And let's see, as his opponent is picking up a Silt Slam, he places Lats Belcher on his 7th turn and uses Armor Up. Next turn he's going to be able to play Ragnar's the Fire Lord. Now, the reason this matchup is in favor of favors Warrior so much, it's because Rogue has a finite amount of damage that he can deal, and Warrior can easily, get above that lethal range by using his hero power turn after turn. And yeah. And he also has answers for boards such as this. So the typical way for a Rogue to lose is actually overextend with Violet Teacher, create a bunch of tokens, and then his opponent uses a Brawl in order to take care of all the guys. So we're gonna see 8 actually use a Whirlwind, maybe some clear effects, in order to get the board back, and then maybe next turn he's gonna play the Ragnar's the Fire Lord. So let's see what he decides to do. Let's take a look at his hand right now. So he can use the Whirlwind plus Taskmaster and double execute in order to take care of his opponent's guys. Most rogue lists nowadays, all rogue lists nowadays, do not play any huge threat other than, I guess Lothar can be considered a threat, but there's no Dr. Boom, there's no Ragnar's. At the beginning there were some lists that used to play those kind of stuff. Nowadays all rogue is defined up to a point where it is no longer needed, and Word actually takes very good advantage of that. Okay, so Lazarella is gonna use his turn and sprint to find 4 new cards, and he's gonna go face with both of his minions, getting the warrior down to 15 health. And let's see if No Mercy, if A8 can find a way out of this. He's gonna use an Armor Smith and most likely trade his Sylvanas into one of his opponent's minions. He's gonna gain an armor for his efforts. He's gonna play Sludge Belcher and armor up most likely. Okay. So he's gonna pass the turn to Lazarella, who's gonna find a backstab. Let's see if he can get over this Sludge Belcher. He needs to find the preparation in order to do so, because that would enable him to actually combo the Tincture Soil and, you know, press his advantage right now. I'm not really sure if he wants to use both his Fan of Knives. He can actually crash his Farseer into the Sludge Belcher and then use double Fan of Knives to take care of his opponent's board, but that would mean giving his opponent a whole lot of armor. So let's see. He's gonna use Sap and equip a dagger and then combo the Tincture Oil and most likely go face with that, which means 10 damage this turn for Lashola, who is gonna leave his opponent barely alive at this point. And I'm not really sure if he wants to use a South Sea Deckhand. And on A8's turn, most likely he's gonna use the Alexstrasza that he is holding in his hand to target his own face, setting his life back at 15. So he's gonna Alexstrasza himself back to 15. He's gonna use Execute on his opponent's buffed Earthering Farseer, and it's really interesting because he doesn't want to use his Sylvanas as a way to trade with his opponent's minions, because he knows that sooner or later he's gonna have to apply pressure and win the game before his opponent, his opponent finds his second Sharp Sword Oil. And yeah, this is actually realizing what his role in the game is at this point. So Lashola is with his back against the wall. He doesn't have enough damage to finish off his opponent, and if he wants to use this that Fan of Knives sitting in his hand, he's gonna give his opponent 3 armor for its Fan of Knives that he's using. So he plays a South Sea Deckhand and then sprints again. Let's see if he can find a preparation and a Sharp Sword Oil. He finds a Blade Flurry, so I'm not really sure he wants Blade Flare right now. Maybe he has to. The problem is that the Armorsmith sitting on his opponent's field, it's actually making it really difficult to find a good turn to Blade Flare. What he can do is equip Deadly Poison, attack with a South Sea Deckhand into the Alexstrasza and then Blade Flare. Okay, he's gonna use Eviscerate. He's thinking about using Eviscerate. The thing is, that way the Armorsmith, that way he's dead to Gromas. If he doesn't trade with Alex, okay, he traded. Yeah, it was like, if he doesn't trade with Sylvanas, he's dead to Gromas the next turn. And okay, so A8 is gonna take this turn, attack his opponent's face with Alexstrasza and most likely play Ragnar's the Fire Lord on an empty board that's really good against Rogue. Actually, all the minions that do something when they enter the battlefield, or at the same turn that they enter the battlefield, are actually quite useful. So Lashola finds preparation, but doesn't have enough damage in his hand. He needs to deal 18 damage this turn in order to kill his opponent, but I'm pretty sure he's unable to find that many points of damage. Even if he gets a second Tincture Oil, let's see. If he has Zur Drakes into a second Tincture Oil, that means that he has an extra 4 damage. No, an extra 3 damage to his weapon plus an extra. But he can no longer use the Blade Flare. Okay. Let's see. I don't think there's any way for Lashola to remain alive without a heal, and while facing down 2 legendary minions from the warrior control. Oh, so I guess this match goes to A8, and most likely goes to A8. Let's see. And Lashola is gonna have to play his turn a bit more faster, no matter how difficult his turn is gonna be. He's gonna use double backstab on both of his opponent's minions. He's gonna use double Fan of Knives and then preparation. He must do everything really fast in order to, stay ahead of the animation. I'm pretty sure he's done it. He clears his opponent's board, but that doesn't matter. Since his opponent already has the winning combo in his hand. So A8 is gonna take this match with the Gromas and Cruel Taskmaster combo, and he's gonna take a 2-1 lead over Lashola, setting himself up to win the series with 1 more win. However, this is the tricky part when playing in the Conquest format, and that is because no matter if you are leading with a 2-0 lead, if you have a 2-0 lead in this format, then that means that you only have a deck left. Now, if a common mistake that beginners make in this format is actually that they leave their weakest deck for last. Like, okay, what happens if your last deck has a bad matchup against all of your opponent's decks? This is what you need to, you know, avoid when playing in this format. You need to actually make sure that your last deck has even matchups or even favorable matchups against your opponent's 3 decks, or you know, in this case 3 decks. In other cases maybe it's 2 decks or your opponent's last deck. So you know, little point where you actually need to pay attention to in order to be good in this format, and I actually believe that's what Blizzard intended to do with this format, and I find it really skill testing in order to correctly play in this format. So A8 is gonna play a Knife Juggler and pass the turn back to Lashola, who is gonna use his dagger. There is no backstab for his turn. Next turn he will be able to combo his SI agent if he so desires, but he's gonna have to burn a preparation in order to do it. Let's see if he can find another spell. He finds another ring Farseer. Let's see if he wants to play a Farseer. The thing is, if he chooses to play his Farseer on his turn, then that means that a potential Eaglehorn Bow from his opponent can actually, you know, lose him a lot of momentum right now. So SI Agent is gonna take care of the Knife Juggler. He's gonna pass back. A8 is gonna play his Eaglehorn Bow and trade with the SI Agent, and he will go face, continuing to press his advantage against Lashola. He has the board control. His opponent didn't find the, you know, the cards that are bad for a Knife Juggler on turn 2, which is backstab. We see no backstab from Lashola's side, so he's gonna heal up, play deckhanded trade with the Knife Jugglers, and he will not go face. He wants to combo the Tinker Oil next turn, and A8 is gonna play a Pilot Shredder of his own, and he's gonna hit face with that. So let's see, we're gonna be back momentarily. It seems like our client timed out. I'm really sure they fixed that. Like, I'm really sure that Blizzard, that they had a bug fix for that. Not really sure why it keeps happening. Okay, let's see, we're gonna get back in just a moment. Okay, let's spectate those guys once again. And let's see, I hope we haven't lost. I hope we haven't lost anything. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're back in the game, guys. Okay. And we have an Anoitron, which most likely came out of the Pilot Shredder, and Lotheb on the field for both of these guys. However, A8 is on the lead, having played a Savannah High Main and a Lotheb on an empty board. However, Lashola has a sub for that, but no follow-up play, which is really interesting at this point. I'm assuming that Lashola would like to attack phase with a dagger, then re-equip his dagger, sub the Savannah High Main, play the Tinker Oil on this turn, and pass the turn, most likely. Play the Tinker Oil, maybe the Deadly Poison as well. So next turn, if he top decks Sprint, he can preparation, he can actually prep into Sprint and do whatever he needs to do with the card that he draws. Let's see what he will decide to do, of course. Okay, so Lashola is gonna think a lot on his turn. It's a very difficult turn, to be honest. And he's certainly on the verge of, you know, roping on his turn. He's gonna Blade Flare like that and sub his opponent's High Main. Okay, that's really interesting. And then equip a weapon and equip a new weapon and use Deadly Poison of that. And on his turn, A8 is gonna just replay his Savannah High Main actually. So he's gonna replay his Savannah High Main, gonna pass the turn back. Lashola is gonna use Sprint, draw 5 new cards in total, 1 card for his turn and, you know, 4 new cards from the Sprint. and he actually finds another deadly poison. Let's see if he wants to play the poison and trade for the lion. I'm pretty sure that he does at this point. No, he's gonna hope to draw the second player key. It's gonna use Animal Companion, he's gonna get a Misa, he's gonna play both Misa and Sludge Belcher, so he's making it really difficult for his opponent to have a turn where he can damage the high main. Lashola is gonna take a draw with the Azure Drake. He finds and holds double backstab in his hand. Let's see if he wants to use the Eviscerate in conjuration with the backstab in order to kill something. He can certainly do... I'm not really sure Validitzer is his best option right here. Okay, let's see. Right now, he can Eviscerate the Lion for 5, which gives his opponent 2 tokens. He can then attack with the dagger, attack the Sludge Belcher with the dagger, and he can then backstab the 2 tokens. I believe that's an option. Or he can Violate Teacher and backstab twice, which I don't think is actually ideal. Certainly not the best turn, considering his life is actually really low. Without his opponent having spent any kill commands, he's in the danger zone. Okay, so he is gonna use Eviscerate to take out the front half of Savannah High Main. 2 tokens are gonna be spawned. Sludge Belcher is gonna die by the weapon rock with only 12 health. And double backstab is going to take care of both the hyenas, if I'm not mistaken. And he's going to pass back to A8, who cannot be happier with what he's holding in his hand. He's going to use Animal Companion, if I'm not mistaken. Don't think our client backed on us again. Okay. Okay, he's contemplating whether to use Freezing Trap or not. Okay, the client has back most likely. What it did was actually it was just basically playing his whole hand out. Okay. Yeah, and most likely A8 won the game. A8 won the game, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So it's gonna be a 3. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, we're back. We missed the end here, so welcome back. I'm Nick Bulbasakos for Asus Edge Gaming. We kind of missed the end. Basically, what happened is A8 played his whole hand out, and he had little to turn. So a really nice try by Lasurela. Congratulations for making it this far into the top 8 of the tournament, and A8 is gonna be the first player to advance to the top 4 of the tournament. And let's see if... Okay, and we also have Elysium Gaming's Beherit in the top 4. So all the players are gonna get points for this. So they're in contention to get 10 Hearthstone points in this tournament. 10 Hearthstone points is the equivalent of finishing the top 50 legend players in your region, so it's actually a great achievement. You know, certainly having 10 points is very important. So before we go away for a couple of minutes, I want to thank our sponsors once again, Balent Pevkaja, for allowing us to use their place in order to host this live stream coverage, and also eFantasy.gr, Wisnet Station, and YuYoCardMarket.eu for their support, their general support to Asus Edge Gaming. Also, if you guys like the coverage so far and want to enjoy more of it, you can like us on Facebook, visit our official website, AsusEdgeGaming.gr, or find us on Twitter, where we constantly update, what's going on in the world of the Greek Hearthstone scene. Moreover, if you want to participate in one of our tournaments, we're hosting, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 6 more Hearthstone caps, awarding a total of 70 points in each cap. If you want to do so, head to our Salon page and sign up for one of our tournaments, maybe all of our tournaments. You are welcome to do so. Mind you that we are hosting both LAN and online events. If you want to participate in a LAN event, make sure that you can actually make it there. So the LAN events are, you know, directed to players from Greece. The LAN events, we have LAN events in Athens, LAN events in Thessaloniki, but the online events are directed to everybody. Basically, everybody who wants to, you know, get in the race for the 2015 Hearthstone World Championship can participate in the online events. And we would certainly be amazed to, you know, see any foreign players, you know, coming to a LAN event. So yeah. Also, at this point, I want to thank every single one of you for being here. These tournaments of ours have been met with tremendous success. They are, you know, the Hearthstone Cups that we've been looking for, and yeah. So right now we're going to take a small break, set up the next feature match, our top 4 feature match. I'm not really sure if we're going to feature B8 or A8 again. We're going to have to find out. So stay tuned, guys, and we will be back with you know, more Hearthstone. See you in a while.